Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Rihadatul Aisyi. My student number 23018001. Here I'm gonna tell you about communication skill. In this nice occasion, I will explain about the first one is a review of cross-cultural understanding. The second one is deciding on your response. The third is skills. And the fourth is practicing your skill. Uh, Five is crisis conversation maxim, and the last one is hidden cultural assumption. Okay, let's get started. We have discussed participation, description, and analysis in previous chapter. Here, I will review this material for more understanding about this topic. The first one is participation. Um, you are having a conversation perhaps with an English speaker, or would be watching a movie in English, or reading a book, newspaper, email, or chatting via social media, and then a response from the English speaker surprises or confuses you, and this is misunderstanding. So the point of participation is engaging in an activity where you are using English and experiencing a misunderstanding. And this is the first step where the misunderstanding occurs. The second step is description. You should then write down everything that happened. Where was the incident? Where did it happen? Who was involved? And what exactly was said or done? Write down how you felt. Write down your specific question. And this is description. And next is analysis. You should check books or the internet to find out why the response to the message was different from your expectation. You could ask your classmate or your lecturer, an English speaker, or anyone who can help you to understand that specific culture. And the last step is a response. Decide what response you will use next time a similar misunderstanding occurs. And this is occasion, we will focus on the step 4 is response. Next is deciding on your response. Cross-cultural understanding is about deciding on, preparing, and practicing the responses you want to use. Various skills are useful in preparing your responses to understandings. What are they? Let's see. The first one is general skills. There are 4 general skills that can be used all the time when communicating in a language and culture different from your own. Be flexible. In the context of communication, being flexible means being able to communicate effectively in various languages, cultural contexts, and styles. Communication in English is different from communication in Indonesian. If you are flexible, you can learn these different ways of communicating in English, including language, gestures, concept, and many more. Next is observe. Observing refers to actively paying attention to and studying the action, behaviors, or phenomena in particular context. The best way to learn how to communicate in different cultures is to observe. Watch English speakers communicating in real life or in movie, analyze they are doing, perhaps copy what they are doing. Then, don't judge too quickly. It means refraining from forming hasty or premature opinions or evaluations about people, situations, or behaviors without having all the relevant information or understanding the full context. For example, if you see a woman hitting a boy, don't assume she is a bad person. Say to yourself, I don't know what the woman is hitting the boy. Is she his teacher's mother or neighbor? How does she feel? Has he been naughty to her or something else? Think of few different reasons why she might be hitting the boy. The last one is don't stereotype. A stereotype is an oversimplified idea implied to everyone that share characteristics in common. For example, old people are boring. So when you hear a stereotype, don't forget to say some. For example, oh, some Australian use a lot of swear words. Next is specific skills. There are four of specific skills. The first one is ignore. Ignore, you can choose to ignore a gesture or vocabulary item that you don't understand or that is offensive to you. And then repeat. You can check the meaning of what was said by repeating the confusing word or asking the other person to repeat it. For example, in swallowing word, we don't know what the meaning of swallowing, and we can say something like, swallowing? Did you say swallowing? Could you repeat that, please? Like that. And then clarify. You can restate the confusing word or sentence again using different word in order to check the meaning. For example, in wine context, wine word, we don't understand the wine means, so we can say something like, is that a kind of grumbling, like that. And then the last one is explain. You can explain what you are misunderstanding and why. For example, like, I don't know what privilege means. Would you like explain to me? Like that. The next material is practicing your skills. Your ability to communicate with people of other cultures will improve if you practice. Here I have some example. And in a doctor waiting room in Singapore, and the A said, "Is this seat taken?" And we have idiom problem here. Before we have learned for specific skills is that ignore, repeat, clarify, and explain. So what do you think about this response? What skills that we can use in this context? I think we can use clarify. To clarify, you can say that, do you mean that this chair is occupied by someone or not? And the next example is, some American friends hanging out together are talking passionately about a sport match. You don't understand much of what they are saying, and we have general knowledge problem here. I think the correct skills that we can use to respond this context is explain. We can ask to our friend like, can you explain what sport do you talking about? And the last example is, in the classroom, lecturer said, hand me that timigami, will you please? And we have vocabulary problem here. So to respond this context, we can use explain skills. Because we don't know about the timigami, we can say something like, can you explain what do you mean by that? The next material is Grace's conversation maxim. All conversation is organized by unspoken rules, or we call it maxim. Grace discovered 4 unspoken rules speakers normally use for English. The first one is maxim of quantity. It means say as much as you need and no more. The second one is maxim of manner. That means give information clearly. The third is maxim of relevance. That means give relevant information. And the last one is maxim of quality. That means tell the truth and avoid being rude. The last material is hidden cultural assumption. The A said, someone is knocking on the door. Could you go and see who is please? I can't go because I am washing dishes. And B replied, I'm not dressed. Can you guess, guys, what does it mean? Actually, this is include unspoken assumptions. For example, in some English-speaking cultures, it's unusual to open the door and invite people into your home if we are in your pajamas. You would call out and say that, like, hang on a minute, and very quickly put on some clothes, and then you open the door and invite your guests into your home. Okay guys, that's all from me. Thank you for watching.